So basically, a true life magic kingdom. Okay, so magical vacation getaway situated in a lovely sunny nexus between worlds. Here, the ridiculously wealthy can indulge their fantasies. Uh, a true to life magic kingdom who makes its money on tourism has fallen in hard times. The story follows a band of adventurers as they restore peace to the kingdom as well as a positive cash flow. Um, and so then I said I'd be doing the plot points. Here, let's see. So, okay, that's not characters there. Former character bios. Did I say any character bios on here? No, not really. Finished reading all my notes. I'm still stuck in the dilemma of how to handle the fact there's 7 good guys and 6 bad guys. Let's see here. I thought I put the actual character bios on here, but maybe I didn't. Okay, so yeah, see, I've got all these characters, right, that I've already created. Not that I'm not going to use them or use these stories, but I'm still going to, see, like here, Harold Halfway. Uh, he was the one that suggested to the king that turn the lands into a tourist resort, and the king wasn't sorry. It's been thriving until Maximilian's came, and that's when all heck broke loose. He has literally only half of his magic, and I have all the steely about how wizards give half of their magic to the women they're gonna marry or whatever. She in turn shared it with another, thereby stealing half of his magic. For instance, if you wanted him to cast a spell for breakfast for 2 eggs, 2 pieces of bacon, 2 pancakes, you'd only get 1 of each. If you needed a magic map, only half of it would show up at any given time. In any case, Harold needed to find someone who could help get Enchanted Lands back on its feet. Okay. And then John Thomas is our main character. Well, main is kind of subjective because you'd be playing all the characters, and a lot of these, the princess, she's a main character, and a lot of these guys are main characters, really. But he's your point of view character. He's from our world and gets to go into the other world. And then there's Princess Karen, Count Roy, a misunderstood vampire, Roland the oversized dwarf. His dad was giant, and his mom was a dwarf. Sir William the unicorn used to be a great knight, but his hard-heartedness got the best of him, and an old woman who he turned out on cold and radiant night cursed him to be a unicorn. He's been hunted by the infamous Black Knight who likes to eat unicorn steaks. Sir William's only hope is to find the woman that transformed him and find a way to get himself changed back, but it's hard as he can't speak. Then you have the cowardly werewolf. Nervous and slightly neurotic, when he turned into werewolf, something entirely different happened to him than happens to others. He became exceedingly scared. So cowardly he can't hurt anything or anyone. This may be more of a blessing than a curse, however, as Red Riding Hood is not what she's portrayed in the stories. She actually seduces wolves for Maximilian Spell's army. Being that he's afraid of everything, he manages to get by her wicked, watchful eye. The cowardly werewolf, he's actually a good guy. He isn't able to be recruited or whatever because he's so scared that he's not of any use to the bad guys. Anyways, and then of course I have the bad guys over here too. Maximilian Spell. Sounds kind of cheesy, corny, or whatever. notorious black wizard who was trying to imbue tourists with magical ability so he could raise an army to conquer the realms connected to the Enchanted Lands. See, the lands run on this magical mineral called quicksilver, or whatever, until I find a better name. So basically, lights, magic mirrors, anything that's magic usually has some quicksilver embedded into it, or somehow infused into it. So Max is trying to he was trying to conquer the different worlds connected to Enchanted Lands, and he was doing it by experimenting on people, trying to imbue them with magical abilities by experimenting on them with quicksilver, so they could raise an army, and so that they could go into any realm that he wanted to, so he could take over them. And the story goes that he was eventually overcome and he was banished for doing that. And so now he's kind of snuck back in and posing as somebody else in order to do the same thing. But the way he did, he basically kind of covers he covers all of his bases. He took care of Harold, because at one point Harold had all of his magic, and so Violet Moonshadow is the sorceress who stole half of his magic, and she works for Max, and that was part of it, because Harold had thwarted Max in previous time, right, before he was banished. And so now I didn't have the deal, the king dying. At one point I was going to do a deal where the king was actually murdered by the bad guy, and I kind of figured maybe not to be so harsh, because this is kind of all ages appropriate, right? And it's a comedy adventure, so I shouldn't get that serious anyways. So basically, the king seems to work for Max at this point. Apparently, according to everybody that's visited there or that lives there, right? So the king kind of acts kind of weird and stuff, because basically Max has inserted a kind of a puppet, kind of a being that's under his control. It kind of looks like the king, and he's got the real king like tied up or locked up somewhere. And so basically, he wants to do the same thing. He wants to enslave people. He wants to imbue them with magical abilities by experimenting on them with, it's still a little bit serious, but maybe not quite as bad. So basically, the thing that stopped him the last time, he's pretty much got it fixed, and it's got it covered. And so basically he's got Enchanted Lands pretty much under his control. And then that's where you come in, or that's where the main first character comes in, because since you're going to be playing all the characters, it's not you, it's whatever. But that's a guy from our world comes in, and he is brought in to help Harold, partly because Harold has only half of his magic, or it only works half the time, or half as effective, or whatever. So he needs somebody to help, and so he decides to get somebody from outside the kingdom, because he doesn't know who to trust. And that's where we come in on the story. We come in on the story. Our main character, we'll call him John Thomas, because that's what I called him at the time. John comes in, and he gets transported to Enchanted Lands, and Harold recruits him. So that's kind of your basic premise in your story, and I have all this written down. And it's not like I'm going to change any of it, but I'm going to rewrite a lot of stuff in these coming videos, in these coming hours or whatever. And so hopefully I'll be able to garner enough interest that maybe I can pay for my internet. That would be pretty cool. Even if I don't, it would just help pay for the internet. Even if I don't get any money, eventually I could maybe sell the game, or release it at the end, and it would still be kind of cool to do that. So that's basically introduction, and kind of tell you sort of what I'm doing. I might go into a few more things in the next hour. That is actual hour of video. But for the most part, this is the kind of the starting point here. I'll reveal more details along the way, and so basically, you'll see everything from start to finish, including going through tutorials, including everything. If it looks like it's going to be too boring, I might edit it down. This is partly why I'm recording this instead of like streaming it or whatever. So I might take the 15-minute pieces and then maybe I'll edit them down further. Maybe if I'm drawing something and it's not very interesting, maybe I'll speed up the drawing, right? So that's how that works. So I guess this is the end of, well, I got a few more minutes, but pretty much the end of hour 1. And then you'll probably see this, a month later in little 15-minute segments, one each day. I plan to actually have, one video per day uploaded, or out. Even though I'm not going to be making one video a day, I'll make several videos, and then I will split them up, and then I will upload them one segment per day. So that way I have consistent content every day. And then as I get more consistent here, I won't be doing this this weekend probably, but when I start uploading, I'll probably on Sundays, because that's my day off, is stream like maybe gameplay from some of my favorite adventure games, or ones that I haven't played. In fact, Humble Bundle had Deeponia The Complete Journey for free through Steam, and I got that, and so I've never played that before. So I'm thinking maybe that's what I'll be playing first. So maybe starting March, the first Sunday of March, I'll stream at, we'll say, an hour on Sundays, stream the playing of that game, just so I can have something on Sunday, even though I'm not working on Sunday. So that's about it for hour 1. We'll see you in hour 2.